สำหรับวันผู้ลี้ภัยโลกนะคะก็เป็นวันสากลที่กำหนดโดยองค์การสหประชาชาติทุกวันที่ 20 มิถุนายนของทุกปีนะคะธีมในปีนี้ก็คือ For a world where refugees are welcome โลกที่ผู้ลี้ภัยได้รับการยอมรับค่ะปีนี้ Unhcr ให้ความสำคัญกับความสามัคคีและแนวทางการแก้ปัญหาผู้ลี้ภัยเปิดประตูให้ทุกภาคส่วนมีความเป็นน้ำหนึ่งใจเดียวกันมากยิ่งขึ้นนะคะฉะนั้นเพื่อเป็นการต้อนรับท่านแขกผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านค่ะในโอกาสแรกนี้เราได้รับเกียรติจากคุณแทนวิชาร์ผู้แทนข้าหลวงใหญ่ผู้ลี้ภัยแห่งสหประชาชาติประจำประเทศไทยนะคะที่จะได้ขึ้นมากล่าวต้อนรับท่านแขกผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านค่ะ May I invite คุณแทนวิชาร์ UNHCR representative in Thailand for the welcome speech ขอเสียงปรบมือต้อนรับท่านด้วยค่ะ
Welcome to the World Refugee Day commemoration, slightly in advance, as we open the 13th Refugee Film Festival. Please allow me to extend a very warm welcome to Hun Catalia Patumran, the Deputy Director General at the Department of International Organizations for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, refugee advocates, I've met a number of you in a couple of last few minutes, and friends and dear colleagues. This is a day to reflect on a tragic reality that the number of refugees and people who are forcibly displaced is at a record high, 114 million. And this number is growing daily due to war, violence, and persecution. As difficult as my request may be, I would like you to please conjure up the images of war, of hatred, and persecution that forced these 114 million people to flee. Almost daily we see scenes of this on the news. They show video footage of such violence and violations of international humanitarian law and human rights law. It's important to see the human face of this number. The number is shocking, but it only tells part of the story. And please do remember that most of these individuals are children. The number of forcibly displaced speaks to the scale of conflict globally and as well as here in Southeast Asia. I'm speaking of Myanmar. Since late 2023, the numbers of internally displaced people inside Myanmar have doubled from 1.5 million to 3 million. Alongside the flights inside the country are flights to seek safety in neighboring countries. Within this current tragic reality, I'd also like to call on you to reflect on the past. The Royal Thai government has been generously offering safety and shelter to people from Myanmar for decades. Myanmar is a long-standing conflict that has created a protracted refugee situation, here as well as in the region. And against this reality of seemingly elusive peace and stability in Myanmar, we can also take note of two past crises in the sub-region, in Vietnam and in Cambodia. The Royal Thai government in the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s generously offered safety and shelter to refugees who fled these conflicts too. Their conflicts ended, and more than 1.5 million former refugees were able to secure a solution to their exile, and they returned home. Thailand has and is equally hosting urban refugees and asylum seekers from a range of countries. Currently, we are talking of some 5,000 people. As a United Nations civil servant for the United Nations Refugee Agency, tasked to promote international refugee law, I would like to praise and thank the government, the Royal Thai government, and also the Thai people for their long-standing hospitality, which has saved many, many lives. A state is a core actor. It is only the state that can allow people to come into their territory and to stay in their country. Yet protection of refugees goes far beyond granting access to one's territory. Holistically protecting refugees requires a whole-of-society approach. I'm speaking in jargon here. UNHCR in the humanitarian field is full of jargon. What do I mean by protection? The word protection in the context of refugees is about physical security and much more. In many ways, it's what we as parents, siblings, children, and friends do. In short, protection means saving the lives and allowing refugees and helping them to realize their human potential. To protect refugees and to seek solutions to their exile, we need solidarity, samaki. At the local level and at the global level, refugees need our solidarity now more than ever. Solidarity means expressions of shared humanity and working together to make refugees feel welcome. Your participation today is an act of solidarity. Staying informed is another critical act of solidarity. The world is short on peace, and resolving conflicts seems far from the reality. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees spoke a week ago to the United Nations Security Council, and he urged the Council to use their voice, not voices, to address the root causes of these conflicts and to save countless millions more people from the scourges of war. Myanmar was one of the conflicts that he highlighted as needing a united intervention from the United Nations Security Council. In 2 weeks, the United Nations Human Rights Council will also meet to discuss the quickly evolving situation inside Myanmar. And while I've spoken of some grim realities, please don't lose sight of hope. Hope is needed. I've heard the level of hope that is needed when I was visiting some Myanmar refugees recently and learned that the youth are now saying that they would not want to be born from Myanmar in the future. They need hope more, and we cannot lose sight of this hope and the need for it. As Vietnam and Cambodia illustrate, peace can be realized. Hope is not an ideal wish. It's a sense of becoming that is rooted in action, and we give refugees hope when we empower them. And on this note, I would like to comment on the plans today, which are solid examples of solidarity. Today, we will mark World Refugee Day by lighting up Siam Paragon, and we will also watch the film ALLIHOPA, the DALKURD story, directed by Kordudowski, who is here with us today. Also today, we are screening a short documentary by Kun Wanasing Parsat Kun, our high-profile supporter who created the film after returning from Mozambique with us, and also Kun Kitty Singhapat. Dear Kun Wanasing and Kun Kitty, your generosity and solidarity with refugees is highly appreciated. I extend my thank you to everyone here today for standing in solidarity with refugees. We are all part of the human family. Kapunka.
Excellencies, Kun Tamisha, distinguished guests, Sawasdee Ka. It is my pleasure to be here today to join the celebration of the World Refugee Day on the 20th of June and to reaffirm the Ministry of Foreign Affairs support for the 13th Refugee Film Festival. All over the world, an increasing number of refugees and displaced persons are forced to flee their homes due to conflicts, violence, persecution, and other challenges such as food insecurity, climate change, and pandemic. While most of them hope to return home, oftentimes reality does not allow them to go back. Refugees and displaced persons then have to find ways to persist or start their lives anew. Refugees and displaced persons have to leave their homes, belongings, and loved ones, but they also bring with them talents, skills, determination, and resilience. They need more than sanctuary and protection from governments, but also opportunities to live and thrive in their new communities. We all have a role that we can play in giving them such opportunities, in expressing solidarity with refugees, as stressed in the tagline of this year's World Refugee Day. From being informed, promoting
promoting understanding and awareness on forced displacement, to advocating for refugees' rights and assisting them through locally led actions, we all can be an agent of change by supporting fellow human beings in need to live with dignity and in good living conditions. Here I would like to acknowledge and commend the crucial roles by many, including the UNHCR, donor countries, host countries, local communities, civil society organizations, private sectors, and individuals in providing assistance and protection for refugees in all corners of the globe. In Thailand, civil society actors are also one of the main actors providing assistance to displaced persons. On our part, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been working closely with partners, including the UNHCR, to create an enabling environment for assistance and protection through policy and regulation. We have been taking care of large number of displaced persons from neighboring countries for decades. In line with our humanitarian tradition, laws and regulations, we also continue to work with our partners to find durable solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that the 13th Refugee Film Festival will open doors towards greater understanding of the situation, the journeys and the resilience of refugees and displaced persons. I wish for the success of this year's film festival and the World Refugee Day. Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and friends, it's an honor to stand before you today. My name is Kordodowski, and I come to you not just as a filmmaker, but as someone who has walked the path of a refugee. My family escaped turmoil in Kurdistan in 1982, and we sought refuge in Canada. And today, I stand before you guys to share the amazing adventure and story of the DALKURD Football Club and explore how opportunity and hope can transform lives of not only refugees, but those of us in a personal crisis. Before I go any further, I just want to touch on the idea of what a refugee is, the definition. A refugee is someone who is forced to leave their country to escape war, persecution, and conflict. These words, they don't mean that much. You know, unless you've lived it, you really don't know what war, persecution, or these type of conflicts are. When these refugees arrive in their new country, the challenges are immense. You have to learn a new language, adapt to a new culture, and find a place in a society where often you're seen as a threat and as an outsider. When we arrived in Canada, we faced a harsh winter, both literally and metaphorically. My parents worked multiple jobs, and even as a kid, I understood that we were living a very difficult time. But my parents, they instilled in us a resilience and a belief that no matter what, we'd find a way to figure it out. And little by little, we found our footing. This personal journey laid the foundation in my hope for the human spirit and the resilience that it takes to get ahead. In this football club, the DALKURD football team, this resilience and hope is at the center of this film. A football cup started by 2 Kurdish refugees as a social project. With nothing else but a dream and an unyielding spirit, they climbed from the lowest division of Swedish football all the way to the highest level, Allsvenskan. Their story is much bigger than a sports story. It's a true testament to the power of resilience and what happens when you give a bunch of people an opportunity. Their story echoes mine as a filmmaker. I come from a family where pursuing the arts was considered too risky. My father tried to talk me out of it many times. He said, "You have no contacts," which is true, and I faced many, many obstacles. And like the team in my movie, I also lacked resources, funding, and experience. But what I had was belief and hope. And little by little as I moved forward, and I got a little bit better, doors started to open, and a few wonderful people decided to walk this journey with me. But it all started with hope and the ability to believe and keep moving forward even when things seemed impossible. So today, I challenge you guys to look beyond the labels, find the potential in the individual, to offer support and opportunity for not only refugees, but those of us in marginalized communities. Together, I feel like we can transform lives and build a more compassionate world. Thank you so much.